Before we get started with Hilchos Shabbos, I just want to say there's a beautiful idea that comes out from Parshat Terumah this week that I think it's an idea that we've spoken about here in the past in different contexts, but this is one of the places that Rav Moshe David Valley points out that it comes out in the Torah. And he says like this, it goes through in Parshat Terumah, it goes through all the different aspects of building the Beis Hamikdash, the Mishkan, all the kelim of the Mishkan, and the walls of the Mishkan, all the things of the Mishkan. And it tells you how to build this one and how to build that one, and what this one does and what that one does. And then way towards the end, when it's talking about the Paroches, when it's talking about the Paroches that's set up between the Kodesh HaKodashim and the rest of the Kodesh, right? There's the area where the Luchot and the Aron is, that's the Kodesh HaKodashim with the Kruvim, and then there's a curtain, and then beyond that is the Kodesh, the area where the Mizbeach is and the other things. Mm-hmm. So the pasuk says, "V'nasata es haparoches tachas hakrasim, v'veisa es shama mebeis laparoches es Aron ha'edus." You'll put the Aron ha'edus with the Luchos. You'll put them in there. V'hivdilal haparoches lachem bein hakodesh ubein kodesh hakodashim, and the paroches will divide for you between the Kodesh and the Kodesh HaKodashim. That's what it says. So Moshe Valley points out, as he does almost everywhere, anytime you find the word lecha or lechem used in the Torah, so it means for you, like for your benefit. We see this the first time by Avram Avinu in Parshas Lech Lecha. It says Lech Lecha me'artzecha u'mimoladetecha mibeis avicha, and Rashi says Lecha letovascha ulahanatzcha. It's for your good and for your benefit that you're going. So when the Torah uses the word lacha or lachem, it means there's a benefit there. There's something good that's happening there. That's what we learn. And almost any time in the Torah that the word comes up, he'll explain, what's the aspect of the benefit here. But here he says it seems very strange, because we're talking here about the paroches, right? We're talking here about the curtain that essentially is hiding Hashem from me, right? The Kodesh HaKodashim is the holiest place in the world, right? In the Beis Hamikdash today, where the Beis Hamikdash was, the Makom of Kodesh HaKodashim is the most holy place on planet Earth, and I want to access it. I want to be there. But the pasuk says, "V'hivdila haparoches lochem," that the paroches will be there to make a separation for you. So he says, where do you see what's the tovaschem ulahanaschem? Where's the goodness and the hana'ah in the paroches? He says, on the contrary, it seems to be creating a separation. So he says over here this idea, which he says in other places as well, by Matan Torah and a few other places, an incredibly powerful yesod in hashkafa and in perspective, and that's the idea like this. And I'm going to give you the way Rav Shimshon Pincus gives the mashal. Rav Shimshon Pincus says like this: if you have you have a situation, let's say you have an eclipse, right? The solar eclipse. So the moon moves in front of the sun, and it's an incredibly beautiful thing to see. You get to see the what's called the heliosphere, whatever the parts of the sun that you don't get to see. The corona, what's it? Cornea. And you get to see parts of the sun, all these things. Yeah, but if you look without sunglasses, you're going to burn out your eyes. Right? You try to look up at the sun during an eclipse without sunglasses, the person will go blind. Right? So what do you need? You need serious sunglasses. You need big, thick, heavy sunglasses, or special sunglasses in order to look at an eclipse, because the intensity is so great that without that separation, right, it would overwhelm a person. Right? So Ravali says it's the same thing with Hashem also. That whenever Hashem needs to be very close with us, there has to be a very, very thick separation, right? And the closer He is, the darker, the bigger the separation has to be. And he gives a few examples of this. This is by Matan Torah, right? Matan Torah was like the closest time of Hashem and Israel. It was like our wedding, right? The chuppah with even Israel. And what was that Matan Torah? Darkness and smoke, right? And thunder and lightning. Why? Because Hashem is right there, and for Hashem to be there, it's got to be pitch black. Otherwise we'll be overwhelmed by it. And he says just a simple idea, like every time it rains, what's rain? Rain is shefa from Shemayim. Rain is goodness coming down from heaven. But what happens every time it rains? It's cloudy, right? It's cloudy. There's a separation. There's a dark. There's a choshech, a darkness that's there. So he says the hivdila haparoches lochem. It is for your benefit. This mechitza, without it, you wouldn't be able to come here at all. Without it, you'd be chased so far away from the power of Hashem's presence. So the Parochet, even though at first glance it looks like it's a separator, it looks like it's something that's pushing me further away from Hashem, but on the contrary, right, it's this that's allowing me to get close to Hashem, right? And without this, I wouldn't be able to be here at all. And now with this Parochet, I could literally be, a few inches away. I could be just on one side and Hashem's on the other side, and I'm safe and I'm close. So he says, this is true in the physical sense, but it's true also like in the hashkafic sense, in the perspective sense. When times are darker, when things look more chashuch, so that means Hashem is closer. It means Hashem is closer. Hashem, and in order for Hashem to be here, there has to be a thicker separation, a darker separation. And Rav Pinkus used to speak about this about the Holocaust. He used to say that the Holocaust was probably the biggest paroches, the biggest veil hiding Hashem that we've had in millennia. And he said that means that Hashem must have been right there. He must have been right there. When you see a darkness, when you see a separation, when you see a paroches that's so thick, so that must mean that Hashem is so close, and that's what has to create this thing. So, it's just an important idea that we see tsaros and darkness, and sometimes we feel like it's Hashem pushing us away when we're in a situation of choshech. But what he's saying is that it's really the exact opposite. That the darker it is, the closer Hashem is pulling me, and it needs that darkness there in order to create that separation, in order to make it happen. So that's what he says. V'evdila paroches lochem. So we should be zocha. Hashem, we should be zocha to have the separations allow for the closeness. And okay, Shabbos.